Hi, we are seeing the yellow taxi in New York City every day. Have you ever wondered some interesting patterns for the yellow taxi? To study the patterns, I've downloaded the yellow taxi data from New York City Open Data Source. Now let's take a look. The raw data I downloaded including the information like pickup data and time, drop-off data and time, the passenger count, duration, distance, the location for pickup and drop-off, and the pay type, the fare amount, and the fee segmentation. I used Excel pivot table, and this is regression analysis. This is pivot table and also the dashboard to illustrate my findings. By using pivot table, I can better study and select the data for the topic that's more specific. Like this one, this is like average fare paid by different group of people. And by showing this data in dashboard, I can better visualize and explain to the audience. Now let's look at some of the findings. First, I calculated some average number, like the average duration for each trip is around 13 minutes and 21 seconds. And average distance is about 2.3 miles, average spending is about $14, and average party size is about 1.7 people. For the first chart, I developed a regression analysis to analyze the average speed of yellow taxi. It is because that people often complaining that the taxi is even slower than the MTR. So I want to verify if this is true. From this regression, we can see that the average speed of the yellow taxi is around 0.27 per minute. And I searched on Google for the average MTR speed, and the MTR speed is around 0.285 per minute. So actually, this people complaining about taxi slower than MTR is true. And if you got the chance to take the MTR, just don't take the taxi. It's so costly and it's not gonna save your time. For this second chart, I analyzed the average fare paid by different group. So the blue one is a group of 1 people, and this is a group of 2 people and group of 3. And we can see that the group of 1 pays the average the lowest fare, which is reasonable because they are taking taxi alone, which is expensive. And what's interesting is for a group of 6, we can see in this situation the average fare is actually lower than 6 people taking MTR. So in this case, it becomes more cost efficient for 6 people to take taxi. And I also analyzed the percentage for each group in the total trips. We can see that even the data is only within 1.5 hours for a working day. There's more than 42,000 trips. So this is also a very interesting finding. And let's take a look at it. Actually, 1-person group counts about 72%, and 2-persons group is about 13%. And like 3 people group is 4%, and 4 people group 2%. For 5 it's 6%, and for 6 it's 3%. For me, I think this could suggest a waste in our public transportation system, because if 1 people are taking taxi, it's not really efficient. It's causing a lot more traffic, and now like the major competitor of yellow taxi, which is Uber, is providing the Uber pool. I think like the service such as Uber pool is more environmentally friendly and can get the public transportation resource utilized better. So let's see this chart. Actually, this is for the breakdown of the total spending. We can see that fare is about 74% of the total spending, and tips count for about 50%. And if we see here, the tip is actually about 20% of the fare, and it is the lowest level of the tip suggested. So this may indicate that in New York City, people don't really want to pay higher tips, or it can also indicate that maybe the taxi driver is not providing good service for those who are willing to pay more. In this last chart, I did a time series analysis to see the trend for the total trips and the average fare for each trip. Like the time duration is from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Like as I mentioned before, the data set is huge, and for analysis purpose, I only choose the data from 2015 January 7th, and it's from 5:30 to 7 p.m. since it's like a peak hour. So it's randomly picked, and I think it's representative of our normal working day and for the peak hour. Now let's take a look at the trend in this chart. We can see that for average fare represented by this orange line, there's a declining trend from this time duration. And for the number of trips, we can see there's a slightly increasing trend. So if I'm a taxi driver, I might want to start early for this time period since the average fare is higher. Let's see if there's some interesting findings in the breakdown. Let's look at the 5 people's group. We can see there's a sharp decrease in the average fare paid by 5 people's group, and then it remains like constant till 7. Lastly, I did a power map heat graph analysis of yellow cab. So let's see the heat map. We can see that from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Most of the activities happen in Midtown. Like I think it's from 33rd Street to 59th Street. Compared to that, we can see there's like not much activities in financial district. It's maybe in Wall Street, people cannot leave before 7. I used the heat map analysis because it's very vivid and people can see like the activities categories by the different color. Actually, this is the feature I find most interesting like from this project. I wanted to show these activities for yellow taxi on the map, and I Googled and learned this feature. I find it really interesting and want to share with you. That's all for my midterm project on the yellow taxi. Thank you.